So I figured it out. What's that, you ask? Well, I figured out why Hollywood stars fake their deaths. But Brad Pitt hasn't faked his death, you might be saying. Well, are you sure about that? I'm sure by now you've seen how there are pictures from our history that seem to really match current day celebrities, or stars, as some people might call them. And well, what's going on here? Are these even real pictures? Some of them are literal people from our past with no names. That's not just a random picture. That's Henry David Thoreau, a known person from history. And Jimmy Fallon looking like a known Turkish revolutionary. Eminem looks identical to a noted economist, Harold Innis. There's clearly something going on here, more than just lookalikes. And maybe they just don't want you to know about it. Maybe they don't want you to know that they're not people at all. Notice how they're referred to as stars? Do you know what the Book of Enoch says about stars? The Book of Enoch, which was conveniently removed from the Bible for all the truth it tells, and it talks about how fallen angels, often referred to as watchers, who are described as the seven stars or like great burning mountains. These passages connect celestial imagery, specifically stars, with divine beings, potentially indicating that stars falling from heaven in other texts like Revelation could symbolize spiritual beings. They're referred to as stars, and they are literally given a star in the Walk of Fame. And if you just hold off your judgment for 1 second and consider that maybe there are actual spiritual beings among us, and that we live in a much more spiritual realm than we've been told, and that you realize, well, I think you'll see that what I have to say about why they fake their deaths is right on par. Now, back to Brad. Brad's still among us, right? I mean, he's here. Brad's alive and well. But have you ever noticed how much he resembles James Dean? How much he really resembles James Dean? And hey, that's a A's hat. I know it's athletics, but it's almost like it could be Angels. They match up so well that every single facial feature, from chin to mouth to nose to eyes to eyebrows to forehead line, match perfect. And I bet you would never guess that they have a whole lot of similar mannerisms and movements and exact same positions in their movies. What are the odds of that? What are the odds of that? That they moved so similarly, that they have the same mannerisms, that they look so much alike, that their faces are perfectly symmetrical. But just ask yourself that. What are the odds? What are the odds of this? What are the odds? I would like you to think of what are those odds that they look alike, that they move alike, that they speak alike, that they're put in the same type of positions in movies? Not very likely. What are the odds that they would also have the exact same 3 exact markings on their noses? If you're anything like me, you understand those odds are impossible. Impossible. There they are, looking the same again. But of course, there's more, because I want to show you something else. I've done this before, but I want to show you the exact same markings on these 2 arms. One there, one there, one there, one there, one there, and one there. Identical. And well, one of those arms belongs to Benicio del Toro, and the other belongs to Brad Pitt. Because not only do these stars, angels, fake their deaths, because they don't want you to know how abnormally long they would be living in your presence, so they have to change roles so they can continue just living their abnormally long, maybe never dying life. Not only do they do that, but they also play other roles at the same time, aka Brad, who used to be James Dean, who also plays Benicio del Toro. And then they give nods that is kind of mocking us, but also kind of giving nods to people, like how James Dean's mother died when he was 9 years old. And guess what? Benicio del Toro, who's a character, he's not a real person, he's Brad Pitt's alter ego, who accepted an Oscar from Angelina Jolie. Go watch my movie on, or my video on Brad and Benicio. And Benicio, his mom, died when he was 9. What are the odds of that? With everything else, what are the odds of that? Ask yourself. What are the odds that they look so similar and have such perfect symmetry and have the exact same 3 facial markings on their nose, the exact same? They move the exact same. Watch this. He does this little hand roll here. Maybe you missed it. Ready? And it's hard to see right there. Hand roll. Oh, and the mockery. The mockery is always there. Pitt to follow James Dean's footsteps. Brad Pitt's interested in taking the role originally played by James Dean. Look, I can't even tell there. These are AI. I can't even tell which is supposed to be which. One that actually looks more like Benicio than either of them. That might be Brad. I don't know. AI can't even tell the difference. That should tell you something. That's James Dean, just like that's James Dean, just like that's James Dean. And for people who haven't seen my Brad as Benicio videos, Benicio del Toro. Benicio means Benedict. Benedict Arnold was a big liar. Del Toro means of the bull. Bull, if it's not talking about the animal, means a lie. So, traitor of the lie. They're just laughing at you that you think he's a real person. I mean, look at that. That's Brad Pitt with some cosmetics on and some. Maybe not. Maybe he's an angel and he can just shapeshift. I've said too much. I've said too much because they're probably not going to allow this one because I've said too much. Usually I dumb it way down because they don't want you to know this. So that, honestly, it's why I'm so sarcastic, because if I just come out and tell you the information like I would like to, they take my video down. So fingers crossed that they don't take this one down, because now you know why they faked their deaths and why they're called stars. And that one specifically, well, if you haven't seen my videos on him and you still vote, you might want to check those out. Of course, all this for entertainment purposes. I know that fallen angels don't exist, and they definitely aren't here among us, and definitely don't fake their deaths as stars, so you don't realize that they are undying beings, are always here, and at least here during this Satan's little season that we're living in. Entertainment only, though, of course. I'm a satire account. Come on, people.